good afternoon. Welcome to Gage Bowl in Topeka, Kansas. I'm Ryan Ragland with the Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour. As this is day one of back-to-back weekend. Tomorrow we will be at Royal Crest Lanes in Lawrence. But today it is Gage Bowl Twister Pins in Topeka. As we have a little bit of bonus coverage for you. As they are getting done with Game 6. And Game 7 of 7 qualifying coming up next. And I'm trying to see if I can find a standing sheet real quick. Let me see if I can grab one. And my mistake, I was told they got done with 6. David Moorhead is looking for sheets, and he told me they just got done with 5. So maybe we'll have a 2-game bonus coverage coming up. As David Moorhead's looking. He's still looking. Okay, tournament director recorrects me, says this is Game 7 coming up. So I'll see if I can, give me a second, I'll see if I can find the totals after Game 5 here real quick. All right, I'm all discombobulated, so evidently I will have to look and see if I can find. Well, come on, load up here. There we go. There we have Lane. All right, after 5, if you look at the Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour website, Game 5 is on there as they are cashing 13. Top 5 makes it to the step ladder. And after 5, Steve Points from Omaha is leading at 243 over. He has a 33 pin lead over Kelly Bonana from Wichita. And every time Kelly bowls, he bowls well. It's just that steady, fluid game that I love to watch. Don Breeden from Urbandale is third at 177 over. Rick Gabauer from St. Joe, as he is in fourth at 173 over, 4 pins behind Don Breeden. And then Jesse Cannon, all the way from Hot Springs, Arkansas, is at 165. He is 8 pins behind Rick Gabauer. And then Doug Hergenrader from Grime, Omaha, is in 6th. Steve Slocum in 7th. Gary Williams in 8th. John Shaw is in 9th. 10th is Dennis Orr from right here in Topeka. John Crocker from Baser. David Kuchera from Urbandale. and Philip Rice is in 13th. He is at 132. So taking a look at the, let's see, Doug Hergenrader is 1 pin out of the show after 5, as they are, yeah, they just got done bowling 6. So this is game 7 that you're watching now. Steve Slocum is 11 pins off the show. Gary Williams is 15 off the show. And then you take a 28-pin dip off the show is John Shaw, and he is tied with Dennis Orr in 10th. And then at 135, so that would be 30 pins back, is John Crocker and David Kuchera. And 13th is Philip Rice at 132. So you can even go 6th through 13th, and you're looking at, well, 132, you're looking at 33 pin difference. So yeah, between game 6 and 7, a lot can happen in a short amount of time. And even looking behind that, 126 is Dustin Collins from Kansas City. Kevin Rothlev from Camden, Missouri. He is 118. So he's, you know, these are guys that if they just get one big game in the next couple, they are still in it. So you're looking 17th, 18th, 18th place that can still make the cut and get there. So that's kind of interesting how that's shaping up right now. So kind of interesting to see what's going to happen. Let's see. In fact, I need to look at. Let's do this here. There we go. So I'm trying to see. Have John Folsinger, Danny Bradley, Kevin Mason on the left lane, and Daryl Dursler, double D. And I'm trying to see where they are. Danny Bradley is 107 out, so he's 58, but Danny can come up with one big game and be right there in it. Kevin Mason trying to see where he's at. I don't see Kevin. There he is. Kevin Mason's 109, so he's right there, 2 pins ahead of Danny Bradley. Daryl Dursler, he's in 29th at 70, so he needs 2 huge games. Nice carry of the 7-9 by Double D. Impressive. Daryl, I got to ask you on your nice carry of the 7-9, is that something you usually do from day to day?
Every time I get a chance.
That's my boy. That's what I like to hear. Hey, not very often do we get to see that, and you're the only one that can pull it off.
It's the hand.
It's the hand. Okay. Oh, Lord. Daryl Dursler. You got to love the guy. Danny Bradley just came up with the spare and working the double in the 10th, or double in the game 7. So we're going to go ahead and step back. Don't need you listening to me. I'll let you watch these guys a little bit. And as soon as we come up with the printed of game 6, see if I can do a little photoshopping and get that posted for you so you can see it on the screen. But you can also go to Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour on Facebook, as Dan is posting it there. Also, we'd love it if you would like the broadcast, share it, hit the alert bell, so that way we get the algorithms going, and when we hit a new broadcast, you'll get an alert on that, and you won't miss any action. So Game 7 right here at Gage Bowl in Topeka. And a huge thanks to all the sponsors you'll see on the right as they make it possible to be able to, for these guys to come out here. We'll be back in a few with an update of Game 6 from Gage Bowl here in Topeka. righty, back at Gage Bowl in Topeka, Kansas. Ryan Ragland with the Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour, and I got to talking to a bunch of guys, so I apologize for that. But taking a look at Game 6 standings, and Steve Point still leads at 296. Kelly Bonana at 275, so he's 21 pins off. Jesse Cannon from Hot Springs at 212 over, sitting in third, and fourth is Don Breeden. He fell just a little bit. He's at 204. Richard Crocker at 192, and then 1 pin off is Rick Gabauer from St. Joey's at 191. Doug Hergenrader is at 175. David Kachera moved up a little bit. He's 169, sitting in eighth. Steve Slocum from Liberty is at 165, and then tied at 162 is Kevin Rothov from Camden, and John Shaw from Des Moines at 162. At 159 is Brian Manini, and Danny Bradley ran himself up into the cash spot at 153. 2 pins behind him out of the cash is Mark Pettit from Kansas City at 151. He's 2 pins back. 144 is Philip Rice. He's sitting in 15th. 16th is Kevin Mason at 143. 131 is Gary Williams. So looks like 1 and 2 might be pretty well locked in hand. As you take a look at the scores here, I can't remember who was bowling in what spot, but you've been watching that. Had the 240. I know that Danny Bradley had a little bit of a string going, and I looked over and saw he had a split at one point. So we are finishing Game 7, and we're going to go ahead and keep the excuse me. We're going to keep the broadcast going and wait for everyone else to get done. And after that, we will have the announcement of the top 5 and the cashers, and then we'll go directly into the top 5 match play. So stick around as we are at Gage Bowl in Topeka, Kansas with the Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour. We'll stick around, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
could have opened, but I didn't. Tomorrow, I gotta see. I mean, if you want, I may want to do a hazard. I'd be fine, but Denise screwed me over last night. We had a memorial. Well, we had a memorial service, and she goes, "No, he gets up and he goes about the height. I don't play. That's fine." So, and then she goes, "Well, maybe we'll play." She gets on this. So we get on this one machine and we hit some stuff. When we got done, we were $120 a piece up. Profit. I'm like, good. That's my term of money. So she goes, "Man, I'd like to try that." Should we just go? I think we should just go home. That's what I said. She goes, "Oh no, I've got 120 profit. You know, I should try." I said, "I'm not putting any in." She got on those ice cream. She just got beat up. So I'm like, now I don't know.
We got you taken care
I don't know if she's going to give me that back tomorrow, today or not. I'm hoping she is.
We'll get you covered.
And also, if I pull something off for the tournament in Omaha, I may be dumping it. I'm trying to, as far as room, I'm trying to tell it and Bullwith, because I don't have a so then I said, you know,
Alright, that concludes qualifying today. Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Charlie stop here at Gage Bowl. Once you're done with your score sheets, please turn it with the camera so she can get them edited in there and we can get the final results. In the meantime here, it is raffle door prize time! Yay! Alright, we're going to start with the highly collectible limited edition 24-25 model year 20-ounce tumblers. So the first tumbler for a 20-ounce tumbler. 7868. 7868. Well, Dave, you're out lucky. They have the Nebraska red. No? Okay. Missed by one? 7868.
Got it down here.
I hear somebody whistling. Brandon again?
Brandon don't need one. That's one thing they're willing to pay.
You get your choice of white or red. Hang on to the ticket because it's still going to be good for the poll.
How much fit is it?
Red? All right. So now we have a white. We have a white tumbler now. 7897. 7897. Kelly. All right, you get the white tumbler and hang on to the ticket because it's still good for a bowl.
Good hit where I was looking, and this is
Tell you later, probably right there. All right, now we're going to do 3 of the chamois
beating by 4.
with the Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour logo on it, the leather chamois. Very nice. Limited edition, thank you, Donnie. Limited edition probably to this year. Okay, I have 3 of them. The first person will get their choice of color, and then we'll just go from there. 7930. So there you go. I guess you did. Okay. Keep the tickets. still good for the ball raffle. All right, now there's a gray one or a red one. Red or gray left, 7915. 7915. Dave? Dave Cassell, are you the winner? No. Steve Points. Mr. Lucky Lefty. All right, you get a gray or red. Your pick. Hang on to the ticket. Still good for the bra raffle. There you go. All right, we have one more chamois. This one is gray. 7899.
It's a lot better coming to Topeka this year than it has the last 3 years.
7899. Daryl. There you go, Daryl. Hey, that one matches your truck. Look at that. Okay. Now we're going to give away three of the scheduled T-shirts, and they're down there by Kayla. So if you win one of those, you have to walk down there by Kayla. You have several different colors. We have all sizes, large through XXX. L. So we're going to give away 3 T-shirts. First one. 7907. John, go down and see Kayla for a T-shirt. All right. Nope. T-shirt number 2. 7882. One of the Crocker brothers? I need to verify yours. 7882. Go see Kayla for a T-shirt, Richard. All right, last but not least, on the schedule tees. And again, these are limited edition too, if I didn't say that earlier. No, I got 3 of them. You don't have 3 scheduled tees. No, see, that's how limited they are. All right, 7940.
Not just anyone can wear them.
7940. I heard it right here. Rave. Rave? All right. Hang on to it. All right. Go down to the tail. All right, so now I'm going to throw all this back in. And I'm going to have Miss Lisa draw 2 tickets.
Only honest one in the building.
Because we're going to give away the Storm Phase AI Bowling Ball, and we're going to give away a Storm Ball certificate. All right. For the ball and the ball certificate, 7978. Jerry Kessler won that, so we're going to see if he wants to donate that back. Donate it back. All right, the other number is 7905. John, again. All right, John, you have your pick of the Storm AI bowling ball. It's 15 pounds. Or a Storm bowling ball certificate, which is good for any ball of your choice that comes out by the next 6 months. You can pick.
That's a certificate.
I don't have a thing. You mail it to Storm directly. You want the certificate? Okay. I'll get you that. Okay.
Did he donate it back?
find Jerry, see what he wants to do here.
Hey, if he's not here picking up, he's got his car.
Where is he? Right where?
Right here.
You want the ball. You want it or you want to donate it back to somebody else? It's a storm ball. Okay.
Donate it to me, Jerry.
Jerry, something else? You didn't need anything else. All right. Jerry is going to donate that ball back. Thank you, Jerry, very much. Oh. Lisa, can you do me a favor? Down by the table, there's a jersey hanging down there. It says Budweiser. Get that. We're going to give that away. All right. This is for the Storm Face AI. 7867. 7867.
Freaking Brandon in that center back. God, Brandon. Brandon.
I'm going to start calling this ticket. All right, we have one more prize to give away. All right. Jerry Kessler gave this to me today to give away as well. It's an embroidered Budweiser Lane jersey. It's a size large, so smaller guys are going to have to, try and win this. But I'm going to draw here and see if we can give this away to somebody as well.
Hey. Bob, growing his mouth down there.
All right, 7871. 7871.
Axel can fit that one easy.
Hey, I've lost enough weight on my tickets. That light will touch my tickets. That's why I got drawn.
All right, so that takes care of all the
That might have fit me 30 years ago.
door raffle prizes. Let me go down and get with Caleb. We'll get the results here. We'll get the step ladder going. We're going to use 21 and 22. Is that right, Ryan?
Fizz actually got his color.
Ryan, 21, 22. Our practice lane will be
The blue.
lane 25. Will be the practice warm-up lane. The banners are down there.
this is the preview screen. So I can type whatever, but as long as I
Yeah.
like here I have this here, but I don't have it visible. But if I make it visible for the text, I'll make it visible. Then it shows up.
Yeah, they were saying that about Trump.
Then it shows up there, or it won't show up until I hit transition.
Part of that.
So I just leave it there. It's not there. It's right there. Hitting Bobos?
Huh?
You hit Bobos? You didn't last year. We went to Bobos.
Oh, really?
Smash Brothers. That's Brandon Melvin. Good shit. Old school. Benton McVicker's not far from here. Just get down here, hit 10, boom, straight shot from the left hand side. They do the old school Smash Brothers. Anytime I go there, I get the double with onion rings or chocolate shake. Then I get the apple
All right,
pie.
I have the official results. High 70 plus.
And we'll get with Dan with the announcements of the cashers and the top
High
five.
60 out of the cash was Daryl Dersler plus 171. 13th place, Brandon Leibel plus 176. 12th went to Gary Williams plus 177. 11th, Brian Manini plus 185. 10th went to Phil Rice at plus 189. Steve Slocum was 9th at plus 190. Jesse Cannon was 8th, plus 198. John Shaw was 7th at plus 199. Doug Hergen Raider. There, Doug. Plus 201 for 6th place. All right, your top five. 5th place, Richard Crocker at plus 229. He will bowl Donnie Breeden, who was plus 241. Richard and Donnie, please report to lanes 21 and 22. When you're ready, we will turn them on and you will have 5 minutes of practice. Your 3rd place today went to Rick Gabauer at plus 256. 2nd place, Steve Points at plus 353. And your tournament leader today was Kelly Bonana at plus 354. All right, thank you again to everybody who bowled today. A lot of good scores. And we'll get the lanes turned on here for practice here in a minute. 25 is the practice line.
And there you have your top five for the step ladder today. And of course, Adam Bonilla. Best friends calling me now when I can't talk. Adam Bonilla calling me while I'm doing the Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour from Topeka, Kansas at Gage Bowl. I am. Yeah, you're live on the air. I'm serious. I'll call you back, man. All right, later. I had to do that to him. That's what I do. That's what you do to best friends. That way they don't need any other friends. Kelly Bonnet comes from behind, goes around Steve Points. Steve Points in 2nd. Rick Gabauer in 3rd. Don Breeden makes it up to 4th. And Richard Crocker in 5th. So this is going to be a very, very stout final. So we'll get this all set up. And we'll have the first matchup between Don Breeden and Richard Crocker coming up in a few minutes. All right, Ryan Ragland back with you at the Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour as we are getting set with game one with Richard Crocker and Don Breeden. And Don Breeden was 241 over for the 7 games. Richard Crocker at 229. And toward the end, it kind of started spread out. Up until game 6, after game 6, it was pretty tight. You had guys where 15th, 16th, 17th had a shot to get something going and really put a push on there. And yeah, it started spreading out a little bit. So we'll have to see how it works out with the transitions. Real quick, huge thanks to all the sponsors. Of course, Gladstone Bowl, who is the title sponsor of the Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour, as at the end of the year we'll have the invitational, a 2-day invitational. We'll have that broadcasted. Also, Lisa Finley with Shelter Insurance, Finley Transportation. As you can see there on the right, if after Don kind of slides out of the way a little bit, Visionary. And I'll see, I'll pull these up here. Yeah, Visionary Health Wealth Advisors and St. Joe, so make sure you get in contact with them. Also, you have OK Trophy Awards and Gifts in St. Joe. Of course, we have Storm, Rotogrip, and 900 Global. Have Jason Chris with Face Designs with all his artwork and everything. I Am Bowling for the shirts that we do. And Breeze Ironworks, quality steel fabrication since 1948. Renewal by Anderson. Great products that they have. Everyone hears about them, and we are set, ready to go. And Don Breeden has decided he wants to finish on the left lane and finish first. And if you don't know much about Gage Bowl twister pins, will say an awful lot. The ball just goes through the pins just a little bit different. My experience when I bowl well is not crossing boards. That's a generality of what gets me in trouble. So Don Breeden gets set to take his first shot. I don't have the sheets with their tournament scores yet. We'll try to get those as soon as we can. And Don Breeden, the master of, I don't want to say trick layouts, but a guy that can use probably layouts to his advantage, probably better than anyone. And I got to think that's a Don Breeden special, like a negative shifted. Something pinned down with the CG on the negative side of the ball just really gets the ball to lay down, and that's just something he does really, really well. And walks up with a double. Oh, and he moved the 10 pin. I don't know, sure if you could tell, but he just, 6 goes around, just moves it just enough over. And, yeah, Bad break there. Now I've got to be looking. All the guys that are bowling have one lefty, and the other four. Kelly Bonana probably covers the boards more than anyone, but he controls his rolls so well, and so he'll cover boards, but he won't do it. He doesn't do it in an aggressive manner. His speed is slow enough to let the ball set, so it's not quite the big hooking ball. Three in a row. So obviously it looks like he's throwing a journey. And he's needing to get something that's just going to set just a little bit sooner to push through. Might be getting just a little bit too much length out of it. Make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and the alert bell, and chime in on the chat page. Let us know where you're at. Just say hi. Let us know who you're kind of watching out for or whatnot. Any questions you might have, as tomorrow we will be at Royal Crest in Lawrence. And I keep telling everyone, when we go to Lawrence, do not go hungry, or go hungry, because unsolicited push, Muncher's Bakery across the parking lot from Royal Crest is phenomenal. Right, Breeden doing what Breeden does. So Breeden getting set for a shot in the 4-3 in a row. Dead flush. Kind of leaning to what I was talking about, just not covering a lot of boards and get the ball to set early enough. The roll of twisters. Make the adjustment, throw it better, and yeah, that's what you get. Now, I've got to say, this is the best explanation that I have heard why twisters carry the way that they do, and it comes from probably one of the better reliable sources you're going to find anywhere. Hearing Chris Barnes talk with Stu Williams on their Beef and Barnesy cast that they have on YouTube. Not a shameless plug, but unsolicited plug. They were talking about different pins, and Chris was talking about twisters here at Gage, and he said the twisters don't allow the ball to rebound like they normally do with M-Flights and Brunswick Maxes and stuff, just because something about the density of the wood might be just a little softer or whatnot, so the pin will carry through more, and you'll leave a lot of those hits that, the ball may not seem like it's driving as much, but it pushes through, and then he goes 10 pin again. So he goes 10, 10, 10, 8, 10. And Breeden goes strike, strike, strike. That's not much you can do. So that's what Chris Barnes was saying, and I will trust him 100% on what he says. So after bowling here a number of times and watching bowling out here, I kind of see that happening. Little pity clap from Mike Vanderbrugge, who needs a friend when he does that. Looks good. Yeah. Yeah. I had to tell Lisa Finley about the about munchers real quick. I told her, come hungry and don't eat until you get there. She trusts me though.
Always.
Always. Some people say that's not a good thing, but it works. So Doug Hergenrader comes up to me and he confirms my thought that Don Breeden is throwing a wine hustle negative shifted pin down. That was so easy to tell, knowing what Breeden likes to do. Oh, and then he trips the 9. Hey, Mike, that's when you give the pity clap. That's when you give him the pity clap when he finally carries one. You gotta work for it. But he has to trip a 9 in order to get his first strike of the game. So he finds himself 43 down. And it just didn't push through again. And obviously it's a little bit too late to make a ball change now, but that obviously was not the ball he needed. It was reading just a tick too soon and just burning up and didn't have anything to get through the pins. And the winner of this match will take on Rick Gabauer from St. Joe. Got that one in a little bit, didn't quite push through. And right now, Don just needs to fill frames, probably another double here and there, and he'll be all right. Reminder, we will be at Royal Crest in Lawrence tomorrow for day 2. And I believe there's plenty of openings for that one also. Now 42 pin deficit for Richard Crocker. Got to say I'm a little disappointed in Indiana. I was hoping they were going to give Ohio State a little bit more of a run, but that's not happening, down 31-7. Curious on how many people had Indiana either covering or let alone on the money line. There's a Breeden special right there. Tries to throw it out a little bit more, but then the ball uses so much energy trying to get back up the lane. So out of 7 frames, 5 10 pins, 1 strike, and an 8 pin. Thank you. And finally have the scores real quick as Richard Crocker started off slow with 177, then he comes back with 29, 57, 24, 26, 79, and 37. So pretty stout the last 6 games. And Don Breeden just steady, 37, 15, 34, 37, 54, 27, 37, average 234.4. So, yeah, that'll get you up there anywhere. Score's a little bit lower than normal. 354, averaging 250. So I'll take that away, but yeah, about normal. They were slow to begin with, but kind of started to come around, and Richard Crocker finally gets his second strike as he has 215 max. And Breeden, he scoots the 4 pin over. Has a 2 right now. Take that back. Has a 248. 248 max score now. And on the spare. So 215 max. Just needs a good count. And that'll lock the match up for Don Breeden. And that looks like it's going to be a pretty good count. And it will be. So Don Breeden moving on. And we'll take a timeout, and we'll come back with the second matchup with Don Breeden and Rick Gabauer. Coming up in a few minutes on the Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour, coming up in a few minutes. back in Topeka with the Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour as we're getting set for game match number 2. Rick Gabauer and Don Breeden, as Don Breeden defeated Richard Crocker in the first match 237-203. And Richard Crocker just had a bad carry, just wasn't getting anything to go through the pins the right way. And looks like Rick is throwing the Ion Pro, or the Ion Max, I mean. And he's playing a little bit more in the oil, and he's just doesn't look like he wants to mess with that outside at all. And Breeden's going to keep doing what he's doing. And it looks like Rick decided he wanted to finish on the right lane. And Don's going to stick with that negative shifted pin down hustle. And he just gets that super late kick. It's kind of funny. Dan walks over and he goes, I am disappointed in Indiana. It's like, yeah, I just talked about that. And Breeden goes back-to-back strikes. I'll have to get Rafe over here after a little bit. Rafe Terry, so they're talking with Kelly Bonana, the tournament leader, as Steve Points is pouring up a couple pairs down. Looks like Rick Gabauer has a nice look. And he's just keeping it simple, keeping it just straightforward, using the friction to the right as a little bit of a backup and just getting right through the pins. Well, gets that one out. He's telling it to hurry, and that's the downfall. Get it right a little bit. And it just burns up that energy unless you get it to really finish high flush. Help. All right. I wouldn't be surprised if, I don't want to, they use the term seasoned veteran, but guy that's been around the block a few times and really doesn't get nervous about a whole lot. Exactly what he wants to do. And that's what that ball does for him. He just keeps it in play, finds the friction, let that friction push it through the pins. You can put those
Good
on
afternoon.
too. You can put those on too. That way you can hear me.
Hello.
How many entries you have today?
55.
Nice. Uh-oh, that's a pull. Yeah, that's a pull.
I don't know if you noticed this or not, but we have Kansas, Nebraska,
Arkansas.
Missouri. No, just in the top 5.
Oh, top 5. Iowa.
Yeah, we have Kansas, Nebraska, Missouri, Iowa, and another Kansas. So we have what? That's 4 states, right? Kansas.
bringing out the best.
Yeah, 4 states in the finals.
And
That's pretty cool.
Jesse from Arkansas.
Yeah, Jesse came up. Yeah.
He was up there for a little bit.
Yep. I'm sure you talked about it, but the scoring pace today, holy cow.
Usually it was slow to begin with, and then it was kind of.
Yeah.
I made a mention when we started the broadcast, like the top 17, 16 still had a shot at making the cut.
Yeah. Wow. Did you? in the end here, Steve Points was done first, and he went to 353 over, I guess it is. Yeah, right. If my math is right.
Yeah.
And Kelly had to strike on his last shot to beat him by a pin.
I did not know that.
And he did.
That Hergen Raider?
Doug Hergen
He didn't show up today.
He's right there.
He was here for a little bit, but then he left.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, he was
5.
up there a little bit.
He's the bridesmaid. He was 6th place.
Yeah. Look how far he missed it.
Oh, 28 pins. So, by the way,
No,
back to
look-
my. I know,
Yeah, 28. I'm
28.
sorry, I was looking at the wrong one.
but back to my story about the top 2 guys. So yeah, Kelly had to throw a strike to beat
To go around points.
Points by a pin. If he wouldn't have struck 9, we would have had a tie for the top spots. And I think I have a rule about that now because I think we had this already.
9th and 10th frame roll off.
It might be a full game. I don't remember.
9th and 10th frame roll off.
Is it 9th and 10th frame?
Make it. Yeah, we've done that before.
Yeah. So I was like, wow.
That would have been fun.
Yeah. I mean the top just the
That ball started early.
Yeah, it did.
He got that to the.
So, I mean, just how tight the scores were today. I mean, one mark miss here or there.
But it's kind of amazing how tight it was for however long, and then all of a sudden it spread out the last game.
Yeah.
And got pretty decisive.
Yep. All right, and I'm sure you mentioned this already, but we are having a tournament tomorrow at Royal Crest Lanes.
Come hungry. Don't
Lawrence.
eat.
Yeah.
Don't eat. You already know.
Yeah, they have a good restaurant. Oh.
No. For breakfast.
Oh, breakfast too?
Muncher's Bakery across the parking lot.
Oh.
I'm giving them a free plug. Muncher's Bakery. Do it.
Okay.
You'll trust me. You can thank me when I show up tomorrow.
Okay. I think right now I have 50, 55, 57 entries, so we got room. That's
Plenty of room.
Yeah, 40-lane center, I believe. So they're giving us 32 lanes. So yeah, we got plenty of room. It's a very nice facility there. So come on out and try and compete with these guys. Man, I'll tell you what, they're good.
Don't think you're coming into the seniors. You're going to run all over them.
Yeah, they are good. And it's so much fun to run these tournaments. The guys are a great group of guys, and they're all competitive, but they still have fun.
I've made the comment that majority of the time it's most of the same guys, but there's zero problems. Everyone gets along.
Yep.
And everyone's friends, and you really, he's almost.
He was talking to that one and says, "Peel."
But you actually, it's it is kind of like a little family.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of the same guys, and everyone's super cool to bowl with.
Yeah, Rick is a interesting story here. He's a good bowler. He's a super senior now, but he bowls out of Savannah, Missouri, and for quite a few years he wouldn't bowl these. He didn't think he could compete. Well, he came out, and I think the first or second tournament he bowled, he won. And then he's been on the show several times. So yeah, he's got that end over end roll that really works on these house shots. Works well.
This is the first time in a while that I've seen Don in this situation where he needs to double here.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Down 16 pins.
All right. Well, I know you thanked all the sponsors. Again, thank you to the sponsors.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you to the bowlers. Thank you to Gage Bowl. I'm going to jump back off here. I just want to jump on real quick and say hi. And
That thing jumped hard.
Yeah. And also, Ryan, thank you for doing this. Thank you for live streaming this. It looks really good. I go back on YouTube and I watch a lot of them, and it really looks professional with the layout and the design you have here. And I really like the fact that you got their names on there for who's bowling who and
Yep.
everything, and it looks really good. So I think
It's fun.
it's a really really nice good product that we're putting out here, for
And,
the senior bowlers.
who's the? Remind me who the
Graphics?
no, not graphics, but I'm trying to adjust something too, which isn't working out very well. The broadcast sponsor. That's right.
No broadcast sponsor. So if you're listening and you want to sponsor the live stream,
And I have an idea on that we'll talk about for next year. It
okay.
just hit me, and I'm like, oh yeah, we could talk to them. So
yeah. So yeah, we need
That's what I was going to
Yeah.
get to you about.
we need a live stream sponsor. It doesn't hurt. It just throws more money in the prize fund to have to
Yep.
take it out. Oh
4-9. He's
Donnie's done.
right now. Donnie's in a spot where he's getting a lot of early.
Early hook.
He's
Yeah.
getting a lot of early hook, and it's like he's moving parallel, and it's just not. Even with a negative shifted ball, it's still running on him. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to jump off of here. I got to do my tournament thing.
You got to do your TOD stuff.
Yeah, TOD stuff, and then. But no, looking forward to tomorrow. It's going to be another good tournament.
It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah,
First time we've been there in a while.
first time ever.
Oh, I thought we'd been there before.
No, that's
I'll have to go back and look
Royal-
at the sheet.
Royal Crest replaced Emporia because I wanted to go instead of going further west. I wanted to go closer,
Right.
get back towards home, and then I wanted to get a bigger center. The other thing I wanted to mention. I'm pretty sure Gage Bowl has been on the schedule almost every year or the second year since we started. So this is like the fifth.
I have
or
a sheet
sixth
that has all
year.
the past ones I forgot to bring with me.
Yeah.
I'll have to bring that with me tomorrow and
I think
kind of do
this-
a breakdown on that.
I think this might be their fifth or sixth season they've hosted for us, and they do a great host. And I wanted to get us over into Kansas, even though it's the Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour. I want to get us over in Kansas. I want to appeal to try and get the
Well-
Topeka and some of the Wichita guys, and get some of them to come up here and bowl because it's they're great events. They're good events to bowl.
And most of them know that they don't have to do anything. We just take care of it. We're in and out like
Right.
they don't even know.
Yeah.
So
All
that,
right.
that kind of works out.
Take care, everybody.
Another 10 by Rick. So that gives a little bit of a chance.
So we got 64, 94, 24 for Donnie. We got 17.
37 on a pace.
Yeah, 47 if he strikes. Uh-oh, now.
That just changed the whole kit and caboodle. So 206, 236 max for Rick Gabauer. And you can go 6'9", 20,
Yeah.
24. So he has to punch out to force Rick to double.
Yeah, so, Donnie can force Rick to
And
double here.
Donnie hasn't been able to find the pocket for, well, he struck once in the last 5 frames. So,
All right, I think I got to stay here and watch the rest of this.
yeah, this is getting interesting.
Yeah, this is going to be, that's a good shot. Ooh.
He doesn't want that lane anymore.
Nope, he's done over there.
But that ball's getting so far down lane, and I'll tell you what, that Wine Hustle's not the strongest ball in the world, and it's negative shifted. If that gives you an idea on how hard the ball's angling.
Yeah.
And what's fun to do is watch this on a big screen on YouTube. Pop it up there.
Yeah.
That's when it's fun.
Yeah. I don't know if my brother Randy's listening today. Usually he'll send me a.
Usually if I screw up,
that's
that
it.
ball ran hard.
Damn, Donnie.
So that's gonna
I'll
solidify it.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
Rick Gabauer is going to move on. We'll take a timeout, and we'll be back with the semifinal match with Steve Point and Rick Gabauer here at the Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour in Topeka. back with you at the Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour as we're getting set for the semifinal match here at Gage Bowl in Topeka. Steve Points going up against Rick Gabauer. And Steve Points was tournament leader for a while, and Dan comes up and informed us in the last match that Kelly Bonana needed to strike to go around him by 1 pin. And Steve Points being the only lefty, and if there's a lefty that's going to make the show an awful lot, Steve Points is the guy. That's just what he does. And we're getting the scores all turned around, ready to go. There we go. That looks a little bit better. Sorry about that. Trying to make it look a little bit better. So Steve Points walking up for his first ball, and Steve was pretty solid. 79, 35, 67, 07, 55, 53, and 57. So he goes 750, 765 his last three. So 765 his last three. And he goes, what? Trying to do math in my head real quick. So he goes 781 his first three, 207 his middle game, and then goes 765 after that. That'll work. Oh. Gets the 8 to kick out. Trying to see what he was throwing. Might be a phase 2 or either phase 2 or DNA. I'm not sure. Looks like red and blue. Once again, tomorrow we'll be at Royal Crest in Lawrence. Got plenty of room for that. Yeah, I just got done asking Steve. He's throwing a DNA. Not a lot of lane shine. He said he keeps some service on it, which is makes sense for this house. So Rick with a spare, all even up. Yeah, we'll definitely get Rafe Terry on after this with the finals match with Kelly Bonana. Oh, and the late trip on the 9. And Rick is really keeping that ball inside now. He was getting it right, and it was kind of really burning up. Usually Steve Points is throwing IQ Tour, something in that realm, but yeah, in this house you need something that's going to read up a little bit early and just push through, and that one just got long and ball just died when it got there. And you beat me to move on. Beat me. Yeah, I know. I can hear you back here. Jerry Wiesen there. He remembers who was ahead of him, but he doesn't remember who he beat to advance on. Do you remember who I beat before that? Brian Manini. I got lucky beating Manini, and that was 3 years ago, 2 years ago? Yeah, it was like 2 years ago. And I threw a volatility torque to shoot 250 the last game to go around Manini and qualify fourth. I don't have many moments like that, so I do remember them. Because me, you, Mark Martin, and someone else was crossing. And Points on the spare, gets to push through, so he gets the strike. So Rick Gabauer. I didn't even see what Gabauer had, the 10th frame. It might have been the 220s. So double by Rick as he's going to take the lead. Point out the Dan, 781 the first 3, 765 the last 3 to sandwich the 207. That's what Steve Points did today. It's pretty good. Howard, the ex-Wildcat, on the TV with Ohio State with a win over Indiana. Pretty good transfer for Howard. But I think Kansas State fans are pretty happy with Avery Johnson. So, and that was kind of a situation. Howard knew that Johnson was going to be coming in, and look where he landed. Landed one of the top teams in the nation. So not a bad decision by Howard. Points with a little bit of loft to get the ball to finish through, and there it is. Kind of combated that last 7-pin where the ball tried to go through the pins and just went dead left. So he gave a little bit of a loft and got to finish a little bit better. Where's Rafe at? Rafe is back here. We'll have to get Rafe on here in a little bit. See if I can talk him into it. Well, I was trying to get Rafe over here. I knew. Talk with Don Breeden walks up. I knew what you were throwing. And then Hergenrader comes up and he says, "Oh, by the way, you want to guess what he's throwing?" I'm like, I knew he was throwing that pin down wine hustle with a negative shift, and that ball was looking good, and then they just started really frying up.
Just burn up a little bit in the front. It wasn't holding down lane the way it was. That's okay. It happens.
And
It was drier to begin with anyway.
yeah, and then you get in a situation where you kind of go parallel a little bit, and then you're going to get too much down lane, it's not going to finish.
It can happen. Yeah, it did if you got a little bit further inside. I was throwing it real weak, though, too. I was just really not doing a whole lot to it at all. It happens. No big deal.
Still a good run for the day.
Oh, no. I didn't have that much to work with all day long, so I was happy to get where I got.
And then, of course, your informant walks up right behind you.
Ask him how Doug Hergenrader did today, Don.
Yeah, we heard about that. He was a bridesmaid.
He bowled fantastic.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow.
All right, take care.
Don Breeden real quick as he comes up. And what did points leave? I was talking to Don. What did points leave on his 9 count? Okay. I had to find out. I got to write it down on my little sheet. That's got to push, and it pushed a lot, but left a 7. He's going to be happy with that. He was afraid that thing was going to check up on him. So 149 on the spare. That's going to help Steve get back into it a little bit. But right now, Rick pretty much controls his destiny. That's ooh. That changes everything right there. So 240 max for Rick Gabauer. 248 on the sheet. So it tightened up a little bit. So if Steve can get the strike here, then it's going to come down to a 2-frame roll-off on the semifinal match, and Kelly Bonana coming up next in the championship round. That just didn't quite get up the hill. So it'll be a 10-pin deficit on the spare for Steve Points. Actually, a three-frame roll-off, as I said 2 before. And that one goes flush. That's big help for Steve Points. So he's left 2 7s. Actually, he's left 3 7s in the last 5 frames. And trying to control it with the loft. 9-pin, or 4-pin, excuse me. So we're going to be all even up on the spare going into the 9th. And the matchup with KU in Colorado. at Arrowhead coming up next. Be able to watch a good part of that. All right, all even up. 237 max for both of them. So now we come down to the 2-frame roll-off. The only thing is Rick Gabauer's working on a spare, so missing on that first one is really going to put him in a bad spot. Got that one to push through. That one went through just a tick high, but he got the carry, so that's a big shot for Steve Points. So on a spare strike, 217 for Gabauer, a 9 spare here. Would be a 216 or 207 or 217 and 216. So this is still a big shot. That went dead flush. That went through the pins real nice. So that's going to, that shot there forced Rick to get a strike in the first and the 10th. Another dead flash. So 230 max. 237 with the strike. This is the big one for Steve. He strikes here. He can't lose. Can't lose. 237. Nice showing by Steve Points, coming up when he needed it. So Rick knows what he needs to do. It's pretty simple. He's got to fill 30 right here. That looks left. And he folds the 9 off. And that's the thing. He has to keep the ball in, throwing that ion max. If that ball sees any friction, it's going to lose a lot of power early. And if he does, it has to be down lane. 9 carries the 10, so one more. So 9th, 10th frame roll off on a strike here by Rick. And with points being the higher seed, he will get the choice of which lane. And I got to think he probably wants to start on the right lane. After punching out in the 10th on the left, I think he's going to want to stay there. Oh, that's about as evil. That's about as evil is going to get. And that's twister pins right there. Rick Gabauer with a great match against Steve Points. And Steve Points moving on. He'll be taking on Kelly Bonana as we'll take a timeout. And we will have a championship match coming up in a little bit here at Gage Bowl and Topeka, Kansas, brought to you by Gladstone Bowl in Gladstone. We'll be back in a few minutes. And we are back at Gage Bowl in Topeka, Kansas. Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour Championship match after that hugely horrific break that Rick Gabauer had, leaving a stone 8 in the final ball in the 10th to fall one pin, 237 to 236 to Steve Points. And yeah, this is going to be a good one. As Kelly Bonana, being tournament leader, he will get to decide where he wants to finish on the right lane. So he's going to start first. Kelly Bonana throwing the new Origin that just had its worldwide release yesterday. And he's going to keep that ball in, I'm pretty sure. He was playing it out to the friction, so he might have got that one in a little bit. And Kelly probably, in my mind, has always had one of the smoothest games. One of the smoothest games in the state. And there's just really no whole lot of exerted effort. Just goes nice. Just great timing, smooth swing, doesn't muscle it. Uses a lot of the oil to his advantage and finds the spot down lane. And Point's really got a handful on that one. And looks like he moved in a little bit. Everyone was talking about Rick Gabauer's Stone 8 that last ball, and I told him he could, they got a couple tubes at CVS and Walgreens that might be able to help that a little bit. I don't know which one he'd go for, but I'd take either one. Where's Rick at? Where's Rick at? Did he leave already? Oh, Rick's down there. Let's see if we can get Rick on there real quick. Whoa. That's a hard stop right there. The only time I stop is if I know it in my second, third step. Then I'll kind of walk it through, but start pulling up little by little. But that looked like a late decision. He got really forward with the hand on that one, goes fast 8. And on the spare. See if Kelly still tries to get a little bit to the friction. He's playing that one in a little bit, and he gets the nice carry. Update, KU's up 7-0 on 16th ranked Colorado at Arrowhead early. I was hoping to go to that game until I found out we had this going on. Oh, that ball just didn't quite get through. I've told a lot of people you can watch the 6-pin and watch how the ball goes through the pins. That'll tell you a lot of what your ball's doing. And that, he just got that one in a little bit, and it just didn't quite have time to get through it. I've got it down there. Yeah, showing just a little bit off on that. Not sure how that works out.
Said he don't need it. He's going to strike here and go ahead of me by one. We'll just add it in at the end, won't it?
You want to let her know? See if we can get it corrected on there somehow. I'm not sure how you would even get 21. That'd be kind of hard to do. And the strike. Oh, I see. Somehow he got. There we go. I'm not sure how you get a strike and then you get one bonus pin. That's pretty hard to do.
Just call me Kirk von Kruger.
Kirk von Kruger. Come here quick, Dan. We're gonna talk a little bit of trivia. As Dan said, call me the Kirk von Kruger. So I'm gonna throw a little bit of trivia. Oh, points trips the 6. Straight up. There you go. Just be gentle with it. You don't have to.
Hello.
So Kirk von Kruger, to my knowledge, made one PBA telecast. Where did he make that telecast? And there's an historic event with that telecast.
Okay, hold on. I think I heard about this. I believe it's Riviera.
Nope.
Not tournament.
Oh, and he gets the trip on the 10 with a scout.
It wasn't the Firestone?
Nope.
Then I don't know.
Now I could be wrong, but this is the only time I've ever seen him on a show. Used to be military. I think he was in the Air Force or something. But he used to be military. But the only telecast that I know of, I could be wrong, that he made was in Wichita.
Oh, okay.
Now, what was the significance of that telecast? I can name you 4 of the 5 that was on the telecast.
It had a
Because
ton of
Ricky Ward was on it. Because there was all these lefties on it. Ricky Ward, Von Kruger. And if I tell you the other 2, one was a lefty, one wasn't a lefty, it might tell you the significance of the show.
A lot of them were named Ricky.
No.
No, was it still
One
Smith
lefty. I'm not sure who the other Kelly might know, but I do know the 2 in the championship match. One was a right-hander, one was a left-hander. If I tell you who they are, it might tell you the significance of that show.
Okay. I don't know.
David Ozio
Oh,
and Mike Albee.
wow.
What was the significance of that championship match?
Well, we all know.
wrap
Oh,
7.
man. We all know Aubie's a left-hander, but isn't Ozio a right-hander?
Yep. But what was the significance of that show?
300, 299?
300, 279.
300, 279.
Mike Albee with the 300. And David Ozio, to me, the smoothest game in the history of the PBA, goes wrap 10 in the 10th frame.
Huh. Do you know what he does now, Mr. Dave Ozio?
I do not know, but I wish he was still bowling.
He's a fishing guide down on one of the lakes, I believe in Texas.
I believe
Either
it.
Texas or in Brand.
I think I remember
Branson or
hearing
Truman or
something about him
something,
being
yeah.
a big fisherman.
Yep. Fishing
I'd love
guide.
to sit down and talk to him about some of
yeah.
the stories he could have.
Yeah.
To me, the 2 smoothest games in the PBA history was David Ozio and Chris Prather. Prather's just more underneath it, but Ozio was just pure silk.
Yeah. He was good. And that was back when the game was so different too. So who you cheering for, Kansas and Colorado?
I was hoping to go to the game.
Oh, were you really?
I was open to. You kind of blocked that for me, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oops. Put that down the wrong one. Now Kelly has to get a strike because I accidentally put him down for one.
You just black.
So I probably jinxed him, yeah. If that happens and he loses, he can blame it on me.
I feel bad for Rick. I mean, dang.
For who?
For Rick, the last match.
Oh. That was, I told him he was going to have to go to church and exercise all the demons out for that one.
His game, Kelly's game is so good.
Yeah, I kind of made the comment. I hinted toward it, but I'll say it now. To me, Kelly Bonana still has the smoothest game in the state of Kansas.
I might go home and just like put this on an instant loop and just watch it, because he just, when he comes up, he just comes up in his hand. It's just
And there's no effort.
Right there.
There's no torque.
bang right there.
Yeah.
Bang. And on this kind of a shot, that is
And there's no, it's all fluid. There's no
Yeah.
hit to it.
right.
That one he got off his hand bad. He got around that one. That's,
That one shook.
yeah, that wasn't it.
Yeah, that one shook down lane, and well, that's a break that Steve needed here. Steve was in the finals last year with. He told me who he bowled in the finals last year. Was it Donnie Breeden, maybe? Or Rafe Terry?
It's possible. That's got a shot. And
Oh,
I
nice.
didn't think it did toward the end.
Ooh, just how you planned it.
Miss it just enough.
Yeah.
But then again, if he gets it anywhere to the left of center of the 2-pin, it was going to go over.
Yeah. So, if Steve does win this, when you do your interview, you'll have to ask him who he bowled in the finals last year, because I'm pretty sure he was in the finals last year too.
Okay. The bad thing is, does your computer keep all the,
Oh yeah, I got all of it. It's on the computer, but the computer is it's in the car.
it would be interesting to print that off and I could have the book and just kind of switch back to it. And
It's on the website. There's a link to historical information on the website.
oh, okay.
It hasn't been updated for
I'll tell you what,
3 years, but it's out there.
the only thing that determines if Steve strikes is how the ball reads about 30, 35 feet.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep. Well,
You might want to take those off if you're going to try to go that direction. It's not that long.
I'm gonna go to the website and see if I can find some historical information.
So 10-pin
Put my
lead
heads-
for Kelly Bonana.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Are you going to Bobo's after this?
No, I gotta head home.
You can still have time to stop at Bobo's.
I ate lunch here. I actually don't need to eat any more. Okay, past champions. Here we go.
Is it year by year or
This
just individual?
is by tournament. So if we go down here,
That had a nice read to it.
thanks. So let's see. Last year, 23-24. Yeah, Steve Points won last year at Gage Center Bowl.
But who did he beat?
I don't know. I don't have that on there.
You need to change that.
Yeah, I need to change that. Put champion and runner up.
It would be a lot of work, I know, but it'd be kind of cool if you just click on that tournament and it shows the bracket with the scores.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, that went through nicely.
I'm not quite that. This is a PDF. is
Right.
what this is. So it's not linked to anything.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll have to have that bookmarked on this computer to be able to look back
Whoops.
into it.
Shoot. And then there's another one here with. Let's go back to that. Past champions. Continue reading. So there's one here by tournament, by season.
Mm-hmm.
And there should be another one.
There's a good ball. That's a good ball. I could tell that one off his hand. He just didn't really get around it as much as he did on that split.
Let's see here. Oh, here we go. past champions by name. So this list,
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
I
this
think I
is-
think that's the list you printed off for me. I have it home.
yeah, this is the list that has all the
All the tournaments each individual's won.
one. Yes.
I need, like I said, I need to get that bookmarked on here.
So
Hey,
Kelly
you're
Bonner,
taking it to Colorado.
Kelly Bonner has not won any. He would be a first-time winner. Steve Points has won.
But he's every time he bowls, he makes the show.
Yes, he's like bowled 3 times and
And the other 2
Three
times were at
shows.
Sterling.
yeah. Steve Points has won. I don't have this updated for the 24-25, but I believe Steve Points has won, I think once this year already. So he's probably won 3 or 4.
He looks like he's really getting on that one.
He's wrenching on it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want. He's getting through it better,
79.
getting it out in the lane.
So we got 39 to
10-pin
48.
difference.
Okay. So the all-time leader in wins on the tour right now is, guess who?
All-time leader.
All-time most wins, yeah. Most tournament victories.
Mason.
Oh, that's a good guess, but incorrect. It's Brian Manini.
I was wondering if Manini, but I couldn't remember how many
Right.
he's won. But he went on a streak there.
He's won 8 times.
Huh? I believe it. I would not be surprised.
Donnie's won 1, 2, 3, 4. Donnie's won 5. Kevin Mason's won
That
3.
ball, he got that one
Oh.
left just a little bit.
Back in the day when Tom Patton was good, he won 3.
Yeah, when he was good. He'll even say that.
Yep. Rick Gabauer won 1 last year. Rick Miller's won
61,
twice.
76.
Every time we go to Omaha, Rick wins 1.
Well, that's a given.
Yep. Tony Yarborough. Guess how many Tony Yarborough's won?
2,
3.
3. I know he went back to back one.
Yeah.
One of them was down in the Ozarks, wasn't he? A spare
Yeah,
there.
it was.
196. So on the strike makes it 216.
So we've got
216
1, 2,
possibility.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is our eighth season of doing this. That's
pretty good.
That's pretty awesome.
Yep, that's pretty good. So right now on the strike, Kelly just needs to get a spare in the 10th. He's going to come up with his first win.
Yeah, he is. That's one thing about these guys. They never miss spares. I mean, they just,
Well, that just changed everything.
yeah, he doesn't need, I think that really changed things. Does he even need a mark?
213 finish.
58, 68, 78, 9.
Yeah, he still needs a spare.
He still needs a spare?
Yep. No. Just needs count. As they say, that's a pretty good
That's
count right
pretty
there.
good count right there. Congratulations, Kelly.
So Kelly Bonner with the win. And let him, said he just drilled up that Origin on Thursday. So and we'll get Kelly to throw his last 2 shots. That guy, he's pretty good.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Kelly Bonner, yeah, he's pretty good. In fact, I got to look at I got to find out where we need. Okay, we're going to stand right in front of the ball return there. Oh, now he wants to throw something else. It don't matter what he throws. He can throw anything. We'll get. Don't go walking anywhere. Hey, Kelly, you got to limp back over here real quick. Hey, this is what happens when you win. I don't want to hear it. But no, Steve, you put him down. Put him down. You know the routine. You've been up here enough. First, I got to say, how much did you pay off Rick to leave that Stone 8 on the semifinal match?
Well, I didn't pay him anything, but I had a feeling it could happen. Just because I know with these twisters, the better you throw it, the better flush it is, the harder it is to carry sometimes. So, I think he threw that one really good. Probably the best shot he threw in the 10th.
Yeah, and that's after he pulled it too, and he still got away with them.
He got away with a couple, and then he nailed that one, and it bit him in the butt. So
Looked like you were really controlling the ball with the loft, and then in the game against Kelly, looked like you were getting through it just a little bit stronger to get it to finish.
yeah, I was. I missed it one time that I didn't quite get around it, and then it hit kind of flat, left that 7-pin, and then in the 10th frame, I just didn't want to. I wanted to make sure I didn't pull it, and wanted to give it enough room. And first one was too much room, and then the next one, I don't know where it was going.
Yeah, that on that 7 count, it was just a little bit wide, and like, well, that didn't help any.
Right. No, it didn't at all. Just made it easier for him. I know. I took all the pressure off, and he just cruised right in there. He throws the ball really good.
And I thank you for that.
Normally I like to put the pressure on him, like I did the game before.
I was looking at your score sheet. You go 780 the first 3. You went to sleep with 2-0, and then you go 760 to back 3.
Right. Yeah, I had a great look. I was really shocked that it felt like I had a better look this year than I did last year, because last year
Has there been a time you really haven't had a good look? Because you're kind of up there all the time.
Well, St. Joe last year, I left probably 43 7-pins. No matter how many, no matter what ball I threw, where I stood, it just seemed to leave me a 7-pin. But there's been a couple of them. Can't think of right offhand. I missed the last 2 months because I started a new job. I work on Sundays now, but my boss was feeling generous, let me off for tomorrow, and maybe I'll get back here in December.
What a guy.
Yeah, what a guy. He's a good guy. And then
you have to say that.
No, I do. He is. And after the first of the year, I should be able to make them all because things slow down then. So, so I'm looking forward to it. I just hate to lose out on the points race, because I had a decent start. So
he realizes the points kind of matter a little bit.
Yeah, well, points is my name,
Go get something to eat. I wouldn't even go there.
Great job.
Kelly Bonana with the run, and I mean it. I'm not going to say it looked effortless, but it looked like it was just one key. You had that one shot when you left the 2-7 that you just got around it just a little bit.
I fired it down the lane too. I threw it too hard. So.
Well, and it looked like with the Origin, it was really simple. Find a spot down lane and just let it roll.
That ball's amazing. I drilled it Thursday. I threw it in league Thursday night. Bowled all right with it first game. Put it away. Thought, well, I'll try it when I get here, and I threw it the whole time. I never threw another ball.
I was going to say it matches up here really well, even though it's that ASIM. It really has that mid-lane read, but everything I've seen with it, it doesn't have that snap, but man, it really just gets that heavy roll and keeps going.
Yeah, it gets through the pins well. Once it picks up, it rolls and it goes through the pins real well. It's different than anything I've ever had, so I kind of like it. Makes my realities look like they're kid balls,
Well, and this being your first one, I think you've bowled 3 of these.
I have.
And the 3 finals the other 2 finals you made was over at Sterling. So now you finally start figuring out that you just need to win
I
it.
made one at Sterling, and I made the very first one of this year at, where were we at? First one, Olathe? Yeah, Olathe.
Yeah, that's right.
I made that one.
That was the doubles, wasn't it?
No.
Oh, the singles part.
Side, yeah.
Well, it also kind of helped that you struck out. You hit the strike on your last ball to go around Steve in the qualifying.
Yeah, I didn't realize I was even close to him that much because I thought he was running me over. So I was just bowling to bowl, and I ended up shooting 770 or 80 the last 3, something like that.
As they say, sometimes not knowing is the better thing.
Yeah, it's the better thing, yeah.
Just don't tell me, just let me bowl.
That's what I did all day. I never looked at the scoreboard. I never looked at the sheets. I never looked at nothing.
We have a common friend that I kind of learned that from is just throw. Don't even look at it.
Oh yeah, who?
That stick guy, Stillsmith.
Yeah, that Stillsmith guy's pretty good at that. Yeah.
In fact, he was telling me when I was talking one time, he says, just don't look at the score. If you worry about it, then it takes away from what you're trying to do.
It's because you start trying to strike then, and you can't try to strike and strike. You just have to bowl. That's all you have to do.
It's that shocker-esque thing. Is that what they do?
Yep, that's what they do.
And it works.
I've been watching my kid bowl today too, so.
That's right. They're in Illinois, I think it is.
Bowling, yeah, they're in Illinois bowling. He's bowling pretty good. I think he's like 80 or 90 over for 3 or 4.
You can send him the link and say, hey, look what Dad did.
That's what I'm going to do.
Congratulations. Nice job, Kelly.
Thank you.
Kelly Bonner with the win, and he'll be back in Lawrence tomorrow at Royal Crest. Oh, yeah, by the way, don't have breakfast. Have the donuts at Munchers. He already knows about Munchers. All right. I've played. You know what? I'm going to have to go to Munchers and tell them they're going to have to pay me a little bit for the plug. But Kelly Bonner with the win. We are going to be at get you the hell in. We'll be at Royal Crest tomorrow in Lawrence, and we'll have the stepladder finals again at the same time. So congratulations to Kelly Bonner with the win. His first win of the Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour, brought to you by Gladstone Bowl in Gladstone. A huge thanks to them for the sponsorship of the tournament. Also, all the other sponsors, Rodigip, Storm, 900 Global, I Am Bowling, OK Trophies, Visionary Health Advisors, also Windows by Anderson, Lisa Finley with Finley Insurance, Finley Transport out of St. Joe, also Breeze Ironworks with quality steel fabrication since 1948. So a huge thanks to everyone. Thanks for Dan. Another great tournament, and everyone here at Gage Bowl make things so easy. So once again, congratulations to Kelly Bonner, and we will see you tomorrow in Lawrence at Royal Crest Lanes with the Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour.